All right, so for this week's session, I just want to do a quick video overview because some folks will prefer to learn by watching videos and others will prefer by documentation. So essentially what this is going to be the contextual overview of how you can use AI and automation within your business. And we're going to specifically talk about prompt engineering, since that's a buzzy term, but it has some very practical meaning that you can use within your wholesale business or more generically in any business endeavors that you're doing. So the way that this is organized is this was built as a Notion template, and essentially a Notion template is a location where you can put standard operating procedures, and you can store each of those for internal items. You can also link them to websites such as super.so, where you can have them visible to a customer base. So for this exercise, we're actually doing that with the prompt engineering. So if we go over here, this will have all of the different reference documentation. A link to this video will actually go here when we're complete. So what I want to do here is just provide an overview of the intended outcome that we're going to do. And our practical example is going to be able to have a prompt that works as a wholesale distribution outreach script. So as you can see, we have just a blank Word doc that's going to be there. Now, the way that we're going to create this prompt is going to be very systematic, and we're going to utilize it with a technology or a website known as TextBlaze. And essentially all TextBlaze is it's going to give you the ability to create templated prompts. And we're going to structure these prompts in folders. So you can see I have other folders for other use cases, but specifically for the wholesale section, we will have the main prompt, which will be organized in a very specific format. You have a little bit of creativity of how you would like to structure your prompts. The AI generally doesn't care about that as long as you are consistent with the way that you're building them. So I have these organized into different categories. So context will be at the top. And as you can see, we have one main prompt that's going to organize everything. And it's going to have spots where we can input each of the different sections, which you'll see here on the left. So there'll be a section there for context, which will go into that block. Same with audience, our desired outcome, any constraints that we want the AI to not do. This is a great time where you can put in things where if you want to make sure you're avoiding hot topics or things that could be looked at as not professional. Those are great areas to lay them out as constraints. And then output format. So you can give the large language models some structure around how you would like the information presented back to you. So in each one of these, within the exercise of building a wholesale distributor outreach prompt, this is how we can go ahead and build that. So TextBlaze will utilize shortcuts up in the top left. So each one of these we have organized as WS for wholesale, and then its purpose of what it's used for. And you can customize these however you want for whatever use case that you want to do within your business. So if we go in here and we start our initial prompt, we're going to do a /WS and prompt. And sometimes TextBlaze doesn't like to cooperate. And I know why. It's not cooperating because I have the extension turned off. So we will turn it on and try this again. Wholesale prompt. All right. And that's going to build the prompt for us. Now in our context, I'm going to take this part out and I'm going to do /WS context. And what it's going to put in here is it's going to say, I would like you can kind of read along with there, but the gist of it is it's going to give the context of what the AI should be an expert in. So I want it to be an expert in finding distributors for our wholesale business. And we want it to be an expert specifically in a category or subcategories. So we can build in TextBlaze a block of code as a prompt under WS category, and it's going to inject that into our prompt. So we will do on this one, we call the category /WS category. We're going to use Google and LinkedIn. We can continue to refine this as we go. So I'm going to go into the next block, which is audience, same item, WS audience. And that's going to plug in who is my target audience. So what type of distributors and what is going to be the purpose for that. So it just describes who we are. Desired outcome, same thing. We're going to do WS outcome. So this is where you're going to give the features, right? So what are the things that the AI should leverage? So please look for distributors and wholesalers in the category and subcategories described in the context section, which we defined up here. Please reference public data sets. So it's going to look at things like Google and LinkedIn, Yellow Pages, and the Better Business Bureau. And then once we find that, then we want to cross-reference them with SpyFu. So this is just utilizing any of our existing skill sets that we have to put that into our desired outcome. So next we'll go ahead here and we'll do the constraints. So WS constraints. And these are going to be the constraints that I'd like the AI to keep in mind. Now, as we refine these, that's one of the guiding principles is prompt engineering is an iterative process. So as you continue to put these into the various different technologies, you're going to refine them. So refine them in the template so that way you can reutilize them on anything that you do. Because what you're going to find is we do this as an example. Each of the different AIs may have a different response depending on its individual capabilities. And finally, we want to make sure that our output, we want to give it some instructions on how we want to see it. So WS output. Hold on, what did I name that one? WS format. Okay, so we'll try that. I'll go back here, WS format. WS format, there we go. All right, so in the format, I want it to be a table format, and I want name a supplier, the brands, the website, contact information, etc. All right, so now we have a full prompt ready. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste it into all three. So I have three different AIs that we're going to use for today. We're going to use ChatGPT-4. ChatGPT-4 does come with a subscription. You could toggle that over to 3.5 if you want the free version. We're going to use 4 for this example. We're going to use the free version of Google Bard and the free version of Perplexity. So for each of them, they'll have slightly different outputs that are there. So we'll paste the whole prompt, which you can see is all of the content we had. And it's going to start doing its thing, right? It's going to do its research on Bing, doing a quick search. So while that's going, let's go ahead and do the exact same thing in Bard. I'll paste that in. And it's going to start its process in Google Bard. And then we'll use a couple of our, looks like I have 2 Copilot credits left on the free version of Perplexity. And we'll go ahead and dump that in there. So ChatGPT, think of that as like your Swiss Army knife. General research is going to be able to do a lot of things really well. Google Bard is Google's competitor to that. And then Perplexity is going to be good for more real-time research. So both Google Bard and Perplexity will be able to go out to the internet. ChatGPT in its current form as of January 21st does have a snapshot of GPT-4, I believe was around the April or March. I forget the exact, I can look that up. But it can go out to Bing search for different results as well. All right, so that's the practical example of how to utilize AI to find distributors in your wholesale business. If this video was useful, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and follow for more.